Hello, my name is Lilia Wild and I'm doing my project over coral reefs here in our statistics class. I chose them because they are very interesting. They play a big part in our oceans, and knowing how sensitive they are to temperatures, just seeing how the climate change has been working with that. So that's why I chose to do my research project over temperatures in underwater offshore coral reefs located in the Florida Keys. So with that, the research question and hypothesis. Research question I chose is the mean temperature of the underwater offshore coral reefs in the Florida Keys less than 26 degrees Celsius. That's kind of what we're testing here. So our null hypothesis would be the temperature of the underwater offshore coral reefs in the Florida Keys is 26 degrees Celsius. So I added that equation underneath to show what that would look like in numerical form. And then for our alternate hypothesis, I chose the temperature of the underwater offshore coral reefs in Florida Keys is less than 26 degrees Celsius. And again, I added that equation underneath. Since I'm not anywhere near an ocean and I'm not able to go and do any of the actual recording myself, all the data that I had used came from the USGS.gov website. I had so much data. I had data from 2009 all the way up to 2020. So I took a sample of 200 and used that for my data because from that time frame, every 15 minutes was logged for temperature wise. They used so many different things to be able to get this information. So we used satellites, improv hydrodynamic and heat transfer models. This will definitely help improve the efforts in conservation and management decisions. And again, that was logged every 15 minutes. And the way they did that is the data loggers, they were attached to concrete blocks that were fixed to the reef, and they used stainless steel rods and epoxy. This is all done at depths about 13 to 16 feet and random areas depending. They change these data loggers every 6 months to log that data, and they just continue doing that throughout the years. Here you can see my descriptive statistics when I ran stuff through the JMP site. There's my graph on the right. But my sample size, like I said before, I narrowed it down to 200 for that sample size. It's an easier number to work with than the thousands of data that I've received. The mean of this data was 25.166. The standard deviation was 140.714. Our minimum was 24.5. Our Q1 was 25. Our median was 25.5. Q3 was 26, and our maximum was 27. So next we're looking at our confidence levels. As you can see, we determined that was 24, 27, and from that we can say that we are 95% sure that the parameter would fall between that. And then you can see my hypothesis value does actually lie within that parameter. With this, you could guess it's due to the climate change, location of the corals, since they're staying in a good middle point within that allowed temperature range to where they really thrive. Next, we are looking at that hypothesis test we did through JMP again. My graph is there located on the right side there. Our significant level that we used was 0.05. Our t-test was negative 31.487, which was skewed to the left. And then our p-value was 0.0001. And due to that, based on the values, we reject the null. We found that the value is less than 0.05, so our significant level. So therefore, the data is favoring the alternate hypothesis. And from there, all the data values that we have used and concluded that the temperature of the underwater offshore coral reefs in the Florida Keys are in fact less than the 26 degrees Celsius. And then this last slide that we do have here is just the reference that I had used, which was the USGS Gov website with all the data that I had used.